So our guest today has been the most anticipated so far. When I announced that Joan McDonald of Train with Joan is joining us for this podcast recording, the response was overwhelming. Everyone loves Joan. And with over 1.5 million fans on Instagram, Joan is literally rocking her life in her 70s. But it wasn't always that way. And Joan is now 75, but only 5 years ago was on medication for high blood pressure, acid reflux. She had terrible edema in her ankles, and arthritis was super painful. And she couldn't even walk up and down stairs without having a hard time. And she was just super tired, emotional, and desperate for a change. And then one day, her daughter, Michelle, who is outright amazing herself, came to her in tears and told her mom that she had to make a choice. And she said that if she continued on this path that she was on, she'd end up even worse off and probably on even more medication. And then in true mother-daughter style, she asked her mom to start training with her. And Michelle is a professional bodybuilder and knew exactly how to take care of her mom. And luckily, Joan said yes. And 5 years later, here we are. We have a brand new Joan, full of vitality and strength, looking forward to her future and inspiring millions of people to do the same. And she's showing us that really there aren't any limits. There's no boundaries, and we can make a new life, a new body, a new mind, and even a new outlook on life, no matter how old you are. So today we're going to learn how Joan did it and what it takes to reverse that body clock. But before we meet Joan, remember, she is not a medical professional, and her opinion shouldn't be taken as medical advice. It's just go see your doctor for that. It's really simple. So here we go. Now, without further ado, meet Joan. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Zora.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And we have so many questions. You really are so inspiring, but everyone here who's with us in this live audience knows exactly who you are. But for the newbies, can you give us a little background on what your life was like leading up to your transformation? Like, who was Joan before Train with Joan?
I was just another body, another person, that very ordinary. I liked sports, but I didn't, in the last probably 20 years, I haven't been doing too much of that. Just maybe bowling is the biggest sport that I've done in the last 20 years. And that was lawn bowling and regular alley bowling. But even though I've been active, I was not happy. I didn't like my picture being taken. I just said, oh, it's like they say on TV, it puts 10 pounds on you. Well, really, I was really seeing through rose-colored glasses, I tell you, because I didn't think I was anywhere near as big as I was. And when I see my before and after pictures now, I'm going, was I really that big? I couldn't believe it. And I think a lot of us have that problem. We don't actually see what we're looking at. We see what we want to see. And the mind is a very, very powerful tool. It can help or it can really hinder you. And it's been a long process, but I'm getting my mind changed little by little. I'm accepting that, things are really not easy to come by. They're very difficult. But if you want something bad enough, you can accomplish just about anything. I told my daughter that when she was a little girl. I says, you can be whatever you want as long as you really want it. And as long as you're happy, I don't care if you make money or not. Be happy. and be healthy. And that's what she did, although she got the money as well. She really worked for it. I tell you, that girl does not stop. Yeah, she's a workaholic. She really puts a lot of effort in. She really, really cares about her clients. She does not like to have even a whiff of being shortchanged anywhere. Like, she's dedicated to the people that she's looking after. And that's how she looks at it. She's looking after you. If you put your trust in her, she wants to make sure you get 100%. Yeah. And you don't see that very often, let me tell you. And it's not because she's my daughter, because to me, she's different. She's always been different.
Wow. Is she your only child?
No, she's not. She's been working so hard, and she's getting ready for another show. So she's got to stay dedicated to getting herself in shape. So she's got her time at the gym right now. So
I'm so glad you raised such an amazing person, first of all, because that is incredible what she's done to help you, but she's also been inspired by you. And what I loved, I heard another podcast you did with David Stewart of Aegis.
Oh, yes.
He's a friend of mine as well. And I was,
oh, is that right?
Yeah, I was excited. He did an article on my husband and I and our nomad life. And because we're very odd in that sense, and we're older. And so what struck me in that interview was when you said, there's this detachment between your body and your mind, right? You didn't want to, you didn't see that you were obese. You didn't see that, and you could tell that there's this disappointment in your face. So, but Michelle, I loved what she brought to that interview is that she said, Mom, look at that person, because that was the person who made that decision. That person, that woman was strong. When you look at that person, don't look at it with, oh, that was me. Oh, it's horrible. But no, that person was amazing because she took that decision and she had the strength to do that. And I just love that perspective that she had. It's a change in the mindset.
She has a very unique perspective, and she sees way more than most people see. Like, it's like she's got this picture, and it unfolds the way she really wants it, even though there's glitches and there's stumbling blocks all the way. By the end, she has what she was looking at to begin with. She simply amazes me, the way she thinks. Yes.
She's a visionary. She was a
visionary. Yes.
A true visionary.
Yeah.
So you made this decision, and you allude that it's difficult, like it's hard. And maybe that's why maybe some people don't even want to start down this path. But what was it that made you commit, that said, you know what, enough is enough, and I'm going to stick with this, or I'm going to do it, or I'm going to try it, whatever it is? What was that made you do that?
It was just that she was in tears. And I'd been so tired of being wishy-washy about everything, like trying, but not trying hard enough, but didn't put it all together. Where Michelle, it's body, the nutrition, the mind, it all is in one package. And what she did, she kind of did a good thing. She put me into her transformation group, which is a lot of ordinary women like myself who not necessarily wanted to lose weight. They just want to tone their body up. They wanted to get healthy. And that's what I was for. I wanted to get healthy. It wasn't so much about, looking beautiful or getting skinny or whatever. I lost a lot of weight, yes, but I don't think I'll ever be skinny. I'm just not built that way. And I learned a lot about body composition. There's I think there's 4 types of bodies, and don't ask me to name them all, because I know there's mesomorph and there's mesomorph or something like that. I don't know about them all, but I hear them talking all the time. And it's just, I just got tired of being tired all the time and sick. Just, like, enough is enough. When you come to that point where you just decide, hell, I better do something now. Like, I'm not getting any younger. So I was well into my 70s at that point, like my first year of 70. And I just thought, what have I got to lose? All I'm doing is existing now. I'm not living. I don't get to do anything that I want to do. And I need to do something. And I trusted her because I'd been, following her and been rooting for her every show that she did since, what was it, 2009 or 10 that she started doing shows. I think it was before that. But anyway, I'd been at most of her competitions, rooting her on. And I know what she's done with when she started with JJ in 2010, going online, and what she did with the girls that she was teaching. Like, she always showed me the before and after pictures, and I'm going, like, if she can do that with strangers, you think maybe she can do it with me? I just wanted to lose like 30 pounds and to eat a little better, maybe understand my food better. The worst part was having to learn how to use the computer, and I ended up buying an iPhone. That was a couple of years later. No, that was a year later. And I had an iPad, but I just played around with it. Like, it was just my go-to. I didn't get out very much, so I played games on my machine, and I looked at newscasts and and other information on it, and that's it. So this was all a whole new learning experience, and that really threw me. That's that first year, actually those first few months, I was ready to throw it all in. It just almost defeated me. I'd be phoning her up, and she's in Mexico, and here I am in Canada, and phoning her up and crying, I can't do this. I can't eat all that you're telling me to eat. I don't know how to do this, blah, blah, blah. They would talk me out of it. They would make sure that when they got off the phone that I was okay, but they worried constantly, and I didn't know that, but I really got them worried. And so I ended up going down there. Well, the first 2 weeks I had to go down there because I didn't know anything. I had to be taught something. So they gave me a quick lessons on the iPad. I think there's scripts. You can see videos of me trying to figure it out, and I came down here for 2 weeks the first time, and got my feet wet. And I tell you, my acid reflux really made itself known. The heat was the biggest thing. I couldn't stand the heat. And here I am living down here pretty much all the time.
Oh, so you're in Tulum right now.
I'm not living here, but I might as well be. I'm only back in Canada for a few months at a time.
What a change of climate.
Yeah, what a change is right. But anyway, just getting me started on it. I had to. And I'm not a quitter. Normally, I'm like a dog with a bone. I wouldn't give up. I didn't want anyone saying I was I couldn't do it.
You got a little competitive streak in you?
Oh, I think I have. Stubbornness, I know I do.
Well, I really appreciate your sincerity. You can feel how grateful you are for Michelle with the way you share. And there's Susan here saying, I love you, Joan. You are my shiro. and you're absolutely right. It sounds like there was a tipping point for you, that enough was enough, and you made that decision. And it's that decision, that commitment. And I always tell my kids a similar story about obstacles in life, where ever since they were little, I said, in life, there'll be loads of obstacles, these walls that are up. And I said, you know why those walls are up there for you? And they said, no, why? And I said, because it's there to show you how badly you want it. If you want it bad enough, you'll get over that wall, or you'll dig a hole, or you'll blast through. I don't know. But if you don't, just show you didn't want it that bad enough. So that's the reason why we have these obstacles.
Yeah,
these
that's a good analogy. Yeah.
And you've done it.
A very good analogy. Yeah.
You've done it.
I think a lot of people tend to try to protect their kids instead of doing what you did, which is prepare them. And that's a big mistake to make. You have to tell your kids that, hey, you're not going to win at everything. You will fall down. You will have to start all over again. That's life. But now in schools, you have no failures, like and everybody gets an award. So that takes away the incentive.
Absolutely. There's a whole other...
Stay off that subject. Okay.
We can talk about that's a whole other education, a whole other thing. And so, I really appreciate, the determination that you had is really inspiring. And I think people need to understand it's not easy. And you had a lot of obstacles, and there were a lot of walls out there, and you really wanted it badly. So what do you think it was that made you stick with it for so long? Because, when you fall, you may not want to get up again. So, and it does take a long time, as I health coach in my prior life. And usually I try to tell people it's a 1-year commitment. I hate to say, I'd love to do a 6-week transformation, but it usually takes a year. And
oh, definitely. Definitely.
So how did you stick with it for so long, and you continue to do?
I think curiosity was a big thing. I wanted to, when I started to see the changes, I got curious as to, okay, now I've got to this point, like about 3 months or so, I think she started giving me a little more food, because I couldn't eat it before. Like I just could not. I go, it's too much. And my body had to acclimatize itself, or adjust itself to having 5 meals a day. And then I eventually, asked more and more questions about, like, why is it got to be 5 meals or 6 meals or whatever? Because your body just needs enough fuel to keep going. And if you do it at regular intervals, it makes the body work constantly. And therefore your metabolism is going to eventually pick up. Well, the whole concept of eating more to lose weight didn't make any sense to me. It still kind of doesn't, even though I understand now the mechanics of it. It's just amazing. So the curiosity kept me interested as to see, okay, how far can I actually go? Because I think it was, I don't know if I really showed muscle definition at all in the first year. I might have, if I look back at my photos, I might see that. but it was just shedding the weight. And when my metabolism picked up and like I was hungry, really hungry all the time, that was a really great thing. And it really got me curious, like here I can eat more and I'm still losing.
It's amazing. I think
This was amazing.
Yeah, Michelle said 900 calories when you were 200 pounds. You were eating very little. 900 calories is not a lot.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, because you would think, well, how is it possible? And how is it possible that you'd be 200 pounds with such little food? And so she's got it right in terms of switching the metabolic switch. And now you are about, I think,
it's eating the wrong food.
Yeah.
Snacking. That will put the weight on. Drinking, like I would have a drink before. I didn't really need it. I didn't do it very often. But to me, it's wasted calories because I'd sooner eat than drink alcohol.
Have a blueberry fluff instead.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, if people need alcohol to have a good time, then they don't have much of a life, to my way of thinking. Like I can get happy without drinking. I just have to get tired. It's just an anomaly. I don't know. It's how you look at things. And when you start changing and not having expectations and things happen, I mean, you can make them happen. Your mind is a great thing. Like I said, it can do really harm if you concentrate on the negatives. But with Michelle and JJ and the people that I'm surrounded with, I've got a lot of positivity, and it's beautiful. Like it really makes life worth living.
That positivity.
And when you have people that are always on your back about something and giving you negative feedback, it just makes you want to, it brings you right down. I'm sure the rest of you must feel the same way. If you're with negative people that are saying nasty things or, implying always innuendos and you're not quite sure, okay, what they're getting at. But it's like I said, the mindset needs a lot of work. You have to be at it all the time and be surrounded with people that are positive, at least that don't say negative things to you
or bring you down. You want to find people that support you, and you've had that from the very beginning, which is nice. Very lucky to have that. So you mentioned curiosity, and I studied gerontology and at USC, and so very often what comes up in older adults in studies is that curiosity. People ask how we study people who are aging well and living longer lives, and curiosity does come up a lot. And of course, positivity and your mood and all of that really, really helps. So I like to hear that. So stay curious. That's secret of longevity, I think, is super important, and it will bring you a lot of places. So what for you, and I've heard this on other podcasts, and it sounded like one of the biggest obstacles for you was the technology and learning about how to approach this new way of transforming your body and transforming your life. Was that true, or are there other obstacles?
That was my biggest obstacle. It still is. I like to be able to learn, but I have a tendency of, I don't know if there's something else wrong with me or not, but it seems that I don't retain like the information unless I repeatedly do it for a while. If I only have someone telling me to do this 1 week and then maybe a month later I'm doing it again, I'll have forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is I have a tendency to not write things down. That's why I've got a journal now. So I should write things down, and I can go back and look at what I've written.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an eye opener. Never did that kind of thing before. Never kept a diary or anything like that. But the journal is really good because it's mainly based on nutrition, exercise, your thoughts, what you're reading, just day-to-day things that lead a positive feeling. And that you can, like I said, you write it down, jot things down, things that pop into your head that, oh, this might be good. And then you can go back to it and see what you were doing back then.
Mm-hmm.
I've already got 3 months in. I'm on my 4th month right now of the journal. So,
So it's a new thing. You've started 4 months ago to journal.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that.
It's Journal with Joan. And
oh yeah, I saw that. On your website, there's a journal that you have, and so you're doing this as a group.
North by Third. Yeah, we had it designed. The girl that was working with me, she's a great designer, and she worked closely with North and Third, and she ran it by me, and I said, sounds like a good thing. So we got it, and then I have to use it as well.
You got to practice what you preach.
Right? That's right.
So we can get this journal, I think, on the website, right? trainwithjoanofficial.com.
North and Third is what it's called. It's a Canadian company.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And actually, I have a book right here.
Well, let's see what it looks like. If you're on the videos, you'll see. Let's see. Oh, it's beautiful. It's pink. I love it.
Yeah. I'm changing my palette again. But it's got all the stuff every week. It. And then it's got, like your brilliant thoughts, monthly intentions, what your goals are, what your actions are.
Oh, so we just fill in the blanks.
What would you like to? Yeah, it's all blank except for that.
No, but you got you kind of prompt us, which is really nice. It's not just a blank page. We can, you jog.
And then it's got how much water you're drinking during the day.
Awesome. Oh yeah. Oh, this is like a serious journal.
How much sleep did you get? And like I said, it's got the fitness, nutrition, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. And then it's got the hours from 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock, which is, okay, you get up at 5, you go to bed by 9, so you get your 8 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Supposedly. Yeah. And it's dated, and we have little sayings in here, like the secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new.
Oh.
And that's from Socrates. Yeah. But every day has got a new saying in it, and it's quite good.
It's all positive. Positivity, actually, gratitude was a whole other
gratitude, yeah.
Thing. And yeah, go ahead.
And doing the I have a sensate. I don't know if you've heard of them or not.
Yeah.
And it's got a beat, a different beats for whatever you're listening to. And you just put it on your chest and listen to the music or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really great. Or meditation. I meditated for months. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it now, but I still have it. And I do Elevate to keep my brain going, because it's got math, it's got English, it's got punctuation, it's got retention, like memory programs, all that.
I use Elevate. I like it.
Yeah, and it's great because you can do beginners, you can do harder, more advanced. It's a great thing to keep the old mind as active as possible.
Yes. Well,
Am I
actually,
putting everybody to sleep?
no, I'm just waiting. They're waiting. They're building up their questions. I'm so impressed because when you considering you said that the technology was the hardest part. The Sensate is, a little device for stress management, and you wear that. You have to figure that out. How does it connect to the phone? You're using Elevate, the app for your brain. I think you're way ahead of a lot of people at all ages. So you've come a long way.
I didn't think I was anywhere near what everybody else was doing. But anyway, it's how I'm going. I'm working at my own speed, which is pretty slow.
It's all a matter of perspective, right?
I guess so.
It is. Think about where you came from, and I think it's pretty fast when you think about in the span of 5 years what has actually happened, and it's very impressive. So, what would you consider? What is your greatest success?
Well, I'm talking to all you guys. I would never have done that in a lifetime before. It's when she put me on to the Instagram, it was more to get me out of my shell and converse with people. And I didn't have to actually be in the same room with everybody. I could just talk, like if they asked me a question, I'd answer it the best I could. And apparently it got people interested. And then when I did that, the hip thrust, which Michelle and Hattie Boydell, they had me at the gym and she's never done this before. Let's try her on this. So they get me with the bar and the weights, and then you can do another one. They just kept adding on and adding on and adding on. Can you do this one? And me, I guess I like a challenge. So they just kept adding on and then I got to the point where I'm going, holy jumping, this is pretty heavy. How much weight is this? And she said, 215. And I'm going, what? Are you trying to kill me? She says, you did it.
Yeah.
And which just shows you don't know your own strength until you're challenged. And if you're afraid of a challenge, that's too bad. But if you really want to change yourself, you got to be up for it. It's all about challenging yourself, all about getting the best out of yourself that you can. And every one of us can do something about changing our minds, changing our body, changing our habits. The habits are a big thing. And that's why I suggest, the books that I do, I've read them.
Which
and
ones?
I think there's always something in them.
What books?
The Big Leap, Darren Donnelly, his books, his sports books, they were actually, I thought, I'm never going to like this. I picked it up and started reading it and I couldn't put it down. It just engages you constantly. And James Clear, Atomic Habits, he's got more than that book out, but I'm trying to get a hold of them, and having time to read them is something else. Oh my God, what other books? Oh, Susan, can you remember any of them? If you're still there.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Genius Zone by Gay Hendricks. Have you read that one? That's amazing. Right now, one of my favorites that all lends itself to this mindset and being kind and love yourself theme is 12 and a Half by Gary V. The 4 Agreements is amazing. If you haven't read the 4 Agreements, it's phenomenal. But The Big Leap, I think, and Darren Donnelly's book, really all of these books ultimately have the same theme, and that's you know, again, it makes me cry when I think about how this woman has changed my life. But I should probably go on camera, shouldn't I? But I think that, you know, it's just these fundamental things of life, but it starts with loving yourself. And I think a lot of women our age were just sort of like, we were just decided that there wasn't anything else expected of us. And that invisibility is so crippling, because when nobody sees you, you forget to look at yourself and remember all the shit you were capable of doing. And stumbling across this woman who is literally, she walks the talk, she does the stuff. I dare you to go toe to toe in the gym with her, because she's going to kick your ass this is not a woman who's playing. She's really the real deal. And to think that I've been working on a speech, because I do stand-up comedy as a hobby. And I really think that this idea that a 76-year-old, or soon to be 76-year-old, inspired a 65-year-old, she started a revolution at a time where we were ripe for it. Joan is on the front freaking lines. And sorry, I go crazy because I know her. I can call her my friend. She's my friend. I manifested that. When I started this program, I said, I want her to see me. I just want her to see me so that she sees.
And she made sure she did.
Oh God, I'm Cuban. And I was,
she stalked me all the way to Vegas, for crying out loud, when I was there.
And now you love me. You love me.
I do. Yeah. You keep me laughing.
That's the whole, and she's inspired me. And we need more stories of 70-something-year-olds being the heroes. Everybody needs a hero.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a hero.
Ernestine Shepherd is a great one too. Like she's in her 80s, for crying out loud. She's fabulous. Yeah. There's all kinds of us out there, but I guess some of them have been doing it all their life. And then people are funny. They sort of, well, they're too young, you know, they can't tell me how to do stuff, how to live. And like Ernestine now, she's been doing it just about all her life as well, or at least from her 40s, and then she's in her 80s. So, but they need to listen to people like that. I mean, they still started like when most people are thinking, oh, it's over. It's not over in your 40s. Are you kidding? It should be just starting.
Absolutely.
And look at Magdalena. She's beautiful.
Magdalena's 56. Sorry. She's just, I'm sorry, Magdalena, I just said your age because she's smashing it too. I think Susan, wow, what amazing words you just shared. And I highly appreciate this, because I absolutely agree with you. And now what I hear over and over and over again with older adults is that no one sees me. I'm disappearing. I'm not visible anymore. And this is really destructive on the brain.
There's no hope. They think there's no hope, and there is.
Yeah.
There is hope.
There is hope. And this spirals, unfortunately, from our ageist tendencies. We all are somewhat ageist. And this is the most dangerous form of isms, because it's internalized and then repeated over and over again. People start to believe that they're getting older and they should be hobbling, or they should have pain, or I'm just getting older, and they disappear. And this is absolutely incorrect. And this is perpetuating this behavior, not with everyone, but you know, this is why we need more people like Joan, more people who are showing that aging is amazing. It's a privilege. And we're out there. I mean, the population is aging. So you can't talk to any gerontologist without talking about population aging. There's going to be more and more and more of us. And there are over 50% of the population are women. So we need to be heard as well. So thank you, Susan, for bringing that up. And I deeply appreciate that.
She's really something. And honestly, I'm telling you, I'm super optimistic because I'm not an ordinary example. I mean, there are tons of us. I'm 65. I just turned 65. 65. Joan, because of this, I'm going to compete this year. I'm competing in a class that doesn't almost even exist, but by God, we will create one because of women like Joan. And I believe that all of us that are listening, we need to believe that join the revolution. It's not too late. Your body is capable of resetting itself. And Joan just showed us that our bodies have a freaking reset button.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all going to have a bit of pain regardless. I mean, everything you do from when you were a kid right up to now, there's always some pain involved. When I tell anyone is when you're doing any exercises, if it's discomfort you feel, that's fine. If it's impeding or sharp pains, you stop what you're doing. You don't want that. But you can endure so much. When people have endured wars, what we're dealing with is nothing compared to that. So if you want to live a happy, healthy life, you don't have to be thin. It's not what it's about. It's about being healthy. And with healthy comes happy, because when you feel great on the inside, it's going to show on the outside. I really, really, really believe that, because I just have blossomed so much more than when I was younger.
It's amazing.
I didn't think that I still don't think I'm the age I am. I have to tell myself that I'm going to be 76 next month. It's just like, oh, really?
Just a number. It's just
it is just a friggin' number. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
And all of you women are just beautiful.
Oh, thank you. We're
Really.
so inspired. No, we really are. This is what the power that you have is, to inspire. And we are looking for more and more Joans out there to change people's mental state. And this is the inspiration, and it's going to come with great health. And unfortunately, this is what, when a lot of people shoot for, is just the body composition. And that's why it fails all the time. If that's the principle, if that's the only thing, you're going to give up, right? So you've experienced this transformation. Everybody's looking at the body, you're like, oh wow, she's so strong and she's amazing. But about a lot of other things have changed other than just the body, right? What other,
how I look at things, you know,
perspective.
Like, yes.
You have a different life.
And you tend to look for the better in everybody as well. You know, it sort of bleeds out. Like, it's people hide things so much. You know, like you see these people who seem like they have a perfect this and a perfect that. Meanwhile, they're struggling like a son of a gun. There's some great actors in this world. They're not on stage. There really are. But you have to face your demons and try to work them out. Yeah. So
tell me, what would you tell your 50-year-old self today? Looking back then, how were you at 50? And then what would you tell yourself?
I wish I would have started back when I was 50. Like I had lost quite a bit in my early 40s, my late 30s, early 40s. I got my weight right down, and then I just got busy with life again and forgot that I need to be looking after myself to look after others. And I just was paying attention. All my energy was going out in my family and friends. And I wasn't paying it back to myself, which I should have been. And I would say to all the women, don't forget about you in the process. Carve out some time, even if it's just a half an hour or an hour of a day. Surely to God, you can, spend that time on doing what you want. And hopefully you have a partner who also believes in you and that will help you to get that time for yourself.
Such great advice. I think you're absolutely right. Women tend to take care of everybody else except ourselves. And that can go on, and we think it's normal, and we find out when we're 70, wait a second.
Yeah. Where did the time go?
Where did the time go? And what about me? And what I love is that you no matter what, you can change this at any age. That's what's so fascinating, because the mindset of, I don't know what it's like to be 70. I look at you and I say, I want to be like that when I'm 70. That's why we have all the 60-year-olds and 50-year-olds and 40s. And I'm sure your Instagram's full of people under 30 too.
They are. Actually, that's my biggest fan spread is from 25 to 35, which surprised me completely. But I think they have been following me for a reason, like to encourage their mothers or to encourage their grandmothers or their aunts or whatever parts of their family. So they follow me because they go, see, she can do it. So you can do it. And they try to, which is fabulous that they would even watch me. And understand, if you want a good life, you're always going to have problems. There's going to be problems cropping up no matter what. But in the long run, and you're going to have a good life because you're going to be healthy. You're going to be able to take on all the problems that come your way. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be buried. And we need more people taking responsibility for themselves. Let's not depend on others.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs to lead their own life.
Yeah.
And you should be able to look after yourself. So I'm doing that.
You're taking responsibility.
I'm taking responsibility for myself, even though I'm living with my daughter. I don't see her very often. She's just so busy. Her and her husband are just constantly working. We do take time out and spend together, and it's quality time every time we do it. It's not just we'll start off and then we'll come back because we haven't got time. I got to do this. No, they actually set everything down and take the time, which you appreciate life a hell of a lot more when it's given to you in beautiful dosage and rare. It's so, you have to appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's got her head screwed on right. You did well, Joan. You did really, really well.
I'm going out of here kicking and screaming. I'm not going to go lay down and die.
You mentioned something about pain, and I wanted to bring this to light because it's helped me get through life as well. And you probably have the same perspective or not. Let me know. Life is full of pain. Like we all have pain somehow, whether it's physical pain or heartache, but we don't have to suffer. And that's my motto is, okay, it's there. So what do we do about it? We can choose to suffer or not.
That's right. It's a choice. Everything in life, and I've had this brought home to me so much, is a choice that you actually have to make. And why would you may love somebody a lot. I've loved many people that I've lost, but I can't reverse it. If it's something I can't control, why would I hang on to it?
Yeah.
You can't hang on to something that you cannot control. Let it go. There's more to life than that. I just hope you all feel good about any of the choices that you've made, and live out your life abundantly.
Absolutely. You are where you are at because of the choices you made in life. And hopefully they're good ones. And if not, we've learned from the bad ones and move forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because a lot of women here are listening on the podcast who are around 50 or going through that menopausal transition. And even though you've had your transformation post menopause, I'm guessing, what was that transition like for you? And did you ever go on HRT or
I never went on anything. I thought I had one ovary left, and I thought, oh, that should be good enough for me. I hate pills. I had trouble as a child even swallowing them. Like, it was a real ordeal to get me to swallow. I could swallow a gallon of water and that pill would still be in my mouth. I hated pills. So I wasn't going to take any pills, and I wasn't fond of needles. So those are two things I think they administer them by. So it was out for me. I just figured, well, my mom got over it. My aunt got over it. My grandma got over it. I can get over it. Like, it's something you live through. And they are people that were here, years ago, before the technology and the medical profession was as good as it is.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but
did you suffer? I shouldn't say that word.
Oh,
did you?
Yeah, it is a suffering from the night sweats. Oh my God. Oh yeah. You'd wake up soaking wet. You go, what the heck? Because you could be freezing one minute and then you'd be soaked the next. Like, it's crazy. Your body's just going through a flux, like, constant. And then you'd be all right, and then all of a sudden you're fanning yourself. You can't stand it. But it goes. I think if you don't think about it so much, it goes faster. I think I must have had about 5 years. 5 years that I really bothered me. And then it sort of tapered off, and then I would get, less and less all the time. I'm just lucky. Mm-hmm. I might be one of the lucky ones. I mean, some people really, really suffer. And if they have to take something and they're willing to take it, go ahead. But if you can get through it without, because everything that you take from a pharmaceutical has a side effect. Mm-hmm. And are you willing? And I wasn't willing. When I read all those side effects, I'm not willing. I'd sooner go through it. It's not a suffering that you're in constant pain or something like that. It's just an annoyance is what it is to me, more than anything.
So you went through it 5 years, more or less, and then I want to say experienced night sweats and things, but it was tolerable enough, I guess you could. In any ways, you were off put by taking any kind of pills or hormone therapy. So it's just curious, how I'm sure people ask you too today that because you're very muscular, you are on steroids, or especially your daughter in this, and I'd love for you to to break that? Because I'm sure people are thinking this, and I'd like to hear
I'm
your
sure
thoughts.
they are too. And I mean, I had that guy, Doug, was it Doug or something like that? Oh, he started off okay, and then he started ranting. And they actually, at the gym that I was at the time, you got to hear this. And he says, this is about you, you know. And I says, okay, let me listen. I go, what the heck is he talking about? Because I said I was on some, what do you call them? Oh my God, brain fart.
The steroids? No,
not steroid. I was like taking calcium and
taking a supplement.
Supplements. Yeah, I was on supplements. I said some supplements. Oh, there. She said some, so that means that she could be on. She's on steroids. I believe 100% or 99% that she's on steroids. I'm going, oh my God, that's how rumors start. That's how misinformation gets spread. Like, really? Because I said some and I didn't indicate every one of them. Like, I'm on primrose oil. I was told that would help with the headaches if you got the purest kind. So I did try that. And after a year, I didn't have the headaches anymore. But
people,
they're not steroids. A big assumption on something like that, because she didn't specifically say, yeah. I've said I'm not on steroids. I never want to be on steroids. Do you see the difference in a person that's naturally strong and a person that's on steroids? Their bodies are really looking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they really do.
Yeah. So you're proving that you don't need any kind of definitely no steroids, and no I'm sure you're not taking any growth hormone or anything like that to become big. You're purely just it sounds like you're getting a lot of protein.
100% me.
Yeah.
And if I've got muscles, I mean,
oh my God, look at those it's
guns. Just the way I've developed.
It's amazing.
My mom was strong. My dad was strong, but you'd ever seen his muscles. He was like a bull.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, not everybody shows it. And I think it's because I've lost the fat that you can see the definition.
Mm-hmm.
I still got lots of body fat on me though. I'm not denying that. I've got wrinkles. I've got everything.
We need fat. There's no doubt, especially, as we get older, we do need some fat. We're not looking for 0% body fat, but I just wanted to stress to people, you don't need to take these things to have an awesome body composition and get muscular and all that. You take a lot of protein. Like, that's Michelle's got you.
Protein is exactly that's what Michelle and JJ really promote, is the protein, especially in aging bodies. That retains your muscle. Like, you can retain your muscle that way if you don't take any protein. And if you go into any senior home, whether they're just senior citizens or if they're in a nursing home, they give you very little protein. It's all sweets, breads, pastas. Like, I can have pasta, but I mean, you don't need it every day. And sandwiches, that's what they get. My mom was in a nursing home for 3 years. And I was with her at her meals a lot of the times. Mind you, they tried to keep a little bit of balance, like having soup with the sandwich or whatever, but they always had dessert. Every time you got a snack, it was cookies or cake or those little ice cream cups. Like, really, there's nothing. There's no nutritional value in any of the stuff that they feed them.
It's horrific. I think that really needs to change, and hopefully it will. I have a friend who has several nursing homes in the UK, and she's a nutritionist. And I said, but what are you feeding them? And she says, it's really not good. And I said, but why? And she said, because that's what, first of all, it's what they want. And that you have to give them what they want. And I said, yeah, but you're a nutritionist. You know how to make all those sweets and treat like fluff, like your blueberry fluff. You can make it awesome. She says, it's too costly. It's too expensive. And so this is really disappointing. So there has to be a way that, and I know there's a way where long-term care, nursing homes, community, older age communities, residencies, these need to really change, because we're talking about people's body compositions, their health, their mental well-being. It affects everything. So I'm glad that you're on it. You're obviously doing really well, but it is disappointing to see these things happening in these sort of institutions. But anyways, I want to move on a little bit before I open up the panel for questions. I know everybody's got tons of questions, but speaking of just aging, are you concerned about any other diseases of aging that affect women pretty hard, like Alzheimer's, osteoporosis, and cancer, heart disease? Like, is there anything that you found in your DNA or something you're more concerned about?
There are things that are hereditary that you really, I don't know if it can be reversed or not. I know a lot of stuff just with the diet can be slowed down. I had someone that wrote me about what she did with her mom. Like, she was following the food plan that I had outlined before. Her mom had the stages. Well, I think it was more than just the beginning stages of Alzheimer, because she said she couldn't even turn a doorknob. Like, she didn't know how to do that. And after a year of watching her diet, she was in a nursing home, but she said she was there for her meals, made sure she got what she was supposed to have. And she got her exercising, not just sitting doing exercises, but actually, like, the mother could only shuffle. And by the time that year was up, she was walking 2 blocks. And I'm going, that's amazing. Like, she said, she just was so thankful and appreciative of what she had learned and applied it to her mom. So it actually seemed like it was almost reversed, or at least it slowed down. She wasn't getting worse. And she says she can open doors now.
Amazing. I call that reversal of some kind.
Yeah.
Sounds like she couldn't do something and now she can do it. Sounds like Dale Bredesen, who wrote the book, was it Reversing Alzheimer's? I can't remember now. Leslie, the Reversing Alzheimer's, something like that. And I interviewed him, and it sounds like it's pretty end of Alzheimer's. Yes, that's what it is. The end of Alzheimer's. And he talks a lot about how it's very possible to reverse, depending on the stage, but we need to work at it. And you've seen it firsthand. So, it's a lot of it has to do with your diet and lifestyle. And it's just,
it is. Yeah.
There's many
like, what do you do with an 80-year-old? You just sit them in a chair if you can and leave them alone. That's what they do at nursing homes, as long as they're not bothering the staff. Like, I've watched it all, and I just feel so awful that these people, and I knew a couple of them when they were fine, and I'm going, they had deteriorated so badly. At least my mom still had her mind. Like, you can converse with her. I could pick her memory as much as I wanted until she went. It's just horrible to see them from an active person. One of them, 2 of them actually were artists, and they were just ended up being vegetables, sitting in a chair, reclining in a chair they couldn't move, couldn't get out of. Like, it's awful. I think we need to spend more time trying to reverse that, but it's a major thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can get, the thing is, what with Michelle, and I'm thinking the same way, if we can prevent people from getting to that stage, keep them out of the homes as much as we can. I mean, politicians like, we have these beautiful system that we can get you people into, blah, 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 blah. No, keep them out of it. Keep them in their own homes, for crying out loud, or at least in a place where they have some help, but they can still be independent.
Yeah.
You take away everyone's independence. Just imagine any of you that you couldn't be independent anymore. How would that feel? You'd hate it. And if it was never allowed, you just go into yourself. You forget.
Mm-hmm.
You want to deteriorate fast? That's a good way of doing it. To stop them from doing everything.
Prevention is way better than trying
Oh
to
my God, yes.
cure, right? So yeah. This is the message, I think, if anybody's listening, to please just, prevent. It's never too late, in the sense that, it's better to start early, but look at Joan, don't be discouraged. You can change. You just have to make that decision.
One little step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Just take that same motto from the Alcoholics Anonymous: one step at a time, one day at a time, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And do that. Each little thing adds up until it's a big thing.
Absolutely. There's small goals to reach the big goal. So you have a new life, basically, because it sounds like it kind of reversed, or you took a, total turn since you had your transformation. And what are your future goals and your plans? Because you still have a lot of life.
Well, I just want to enjoy the life I've got. I didn't really have anything really mapped out for myself. We've got an app now. We've got challenges that are coming up. We've got a challenge that's starting on the 28th of February.
What's that?
And it's just a 6-week challenge, if you want to get your feet wet, find out if you really can handle doing something like this. Then that's fun. It's with my Train with Joan. It is
on the website.
So
if it's the website, it's trainwithjoanofficial.com, because if you just go Train with Joan, you won't find it. Trainwithjoanofficial.com will be the website, and then we'll find a 6-week plan. 6-week challenge.
It's a challenge that's starting on February the 28th. I think you have till Sunday night to sign up. And there's prizes up to $15,000.
Oh, I'm in.
I mean, you've got to finish everything. You can't just say you joined and then expect to get a prize. Although I think there is one that's just, random, but you've got to finish it. See what you've got in you.
Is there an age limit or minimum?
No, there's no age limit. There's no physical limit, as long as you can, mainly like at home exercises. What you need is Swiss ball, some weights, different bands, large, like the long loop bands and the short ones. Mm-hmm. Yoga mat, one kettlebell. It was suggested about 35 pounds if you can. It's just pretty heavy for someone that's starting. Actually, I started with 15-pound kettlebell.
Oh, wow.
So
just start with what
you'll go, yeah, you'll just go to a weight that you can lift. Not only lift, but can you do repeats of 10? And then you're going to do sets of 3. I don't think there's any exercise that's less than 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be 3 times 10 of everything pretty well.
And so, okay, so this is the 6-week challenge, and we can all jump in on that. And
there's a fee for it. I can't remember exactly how much it costs for the 6 weeks, but you can actually, it lasts you for the 2 months, because I think it's, I'm not going to guess at this. Like, I don't pay attention to the prices. That's another fault of mine. I figure, okay, if I really want it, I'll get it. And that's always been my motto, though.
Yeah.
If I want something enough, I'll make sure I save for it. But yeah, a lot of people have been asking for the challenge. They like to do them. They think they're really different. Well, they are and they aren't. You've only got so many body parts to work.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kinds of variations. And Michelle will be doing some of the intermediate, and myself will be doing the beginners and and we have some exercises that can be modified. So if you have, knee issues or what have you, and arthritis, then there are some exercises that can be modified, and it will tell you. Mm-hmm. You can pick modified for that particular exercise if you want.
This is so exciting. That's February 28th. So hopefully I'll ask the editor to get this done quickly so I can get it
it's
before
called,
the 28th.
Never Too Late. It's a Never Too Late challenge.
Oh, it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully, we'll get this podcast out rolling. I'll beg my editor to release it earlier.
Oh, if it's next week, that would be too late for that, I think. But anyway,
well, I'll pressure him.
The girls that are listening today, they can always pass that information on.
Yes, that's absolutely. Well, I'm going to go look for some whatever that I can find, and I'll share that as well. I know that people are so patient asking, ready to ask their questions, and just wanted to ask, before I open the panel, one last question, because I see that you are sharing some really cool recipes on your YouTube, and you're always using this thing called Women's Best products. Like, what is that?
Yeah, they sponsor me. Women's Best sponsors me, and I like their products. And I told them when I went on with them, because they came to me, they approached me, and that wasn't the other way around. And I said, I will not promote anything that I really don't like myself. And they've had some products out that were, I won't say negative things about it, but I just won't say anything about it. Mm-hmm. I just say something good about the ones that I really like. And I do like their protein powders. They really mix well. They taste great. They've got a few flavors that are but some of the flavors are fabulous. I just love them.
Oh, what's your favorite?
There was a pina colada one. I love pina colada.
Oh, nice.
So there's a pina colada one, and that makes a great fluff shake, whatever. I like their vanilla, and I like their chocolate. There's a double chocolate or a chocolate fudge, which tastes really, really chocolatey. The salted caramel. Oh, I love it.
Oh, it sounds nice.
And I like this other one when I make my porridge and that. It's called milk and cereal, or cereal and milk. It's good. It smells so nice too. Yeah.
So that's what that's all about. So I was wondering, what is this women's product? Women's Best. So people.
That's the stuff that you eat, and then I've got the clothing as well.
They have clothes.
Yeah. Okay. And I've got my shorts on. Whoops. See?
There's the emblem. There's the logo. Yeah, I see it.
Yep.
So cute.
But you can You're in the States, right? And
No, I'm in Portugal right now.
Oh, Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're already in your area. So they're in Germany. The company's in Germany. So you should be able to get it, no problem.
And for those in the US, how do they get?
In Canada, you can
for Canada.
There is a Canada one site that you can go to. It's womensbest.ca. And I think the States, you can get their products from the Vitamin Shop is one.
Oh,
Vitamin, and then shop is SHOPPE. GNC carries it now, and Walmart.
Okay, so they can't order from the website; they just go straight.
They can order from the website as well.
Oh, okay.
But there's shipping fees because, especially in Canada, it costs a little more because Canada really knows how to charge for what do you call it?
Shipping tax.
Well, yeah, shipping costs because of import duties. Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. I think people can go to I really recommend they go to your YouTube because you can watch you making these recipes like your fluff and all the protein pancakes and all that stuff. It's so cool to see.
All these recipes come from Michelle and JJ. JJ started the fluff.
Really?
Michelle writes the book. Like she's got the new book out, Macro Mastery.
Okay.
And it's all about macros, recipes, nutrition, and all her coaches and herself have inputted into that book. So it's the Wonder Women. I think it's by the Wonder Women official, but it's Macro Mastery.
Okay. I'm going to put this in the show notes so everybody has a link to this because this is all very interesting information.
Great cookbook.
Awesome. We've got some great comments in here. Paulina has to go. How long? Okay, so I'm opening up the questions now, guys. It's your turn. I've hogged the mic way too long. So Magdalena asks, how long do you train a day? And do you do it in the morning or the afternoon?
I train in the mornings. Very seldom do I ever do it in the afternoon or beyond. Only as circumstances dictate. And I'm usually at the gym for 2 hours because I end up chatting with somebody. But yeah, it takes about an hour to go through because you've got to set up and then dismantle everything as well. So it's not, when I'm at the gym, it takes at least an hour. Yeah. But I'm there usually 2 or 1.5.
Well, it's a social hour as well. I mean, that's the fun of going to a gym, and that's what attracts people to the gym too. Is just they know they'll see their gym buddies. And so you're training in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're an early riser, if I remember.
Yeah.
And so you're in the gym by when?
I try to be there. I'd like to be there at 7 o'clock, but usually it's 8, 8 to 9 that I get there.
And you have a meal before you train, right? And a meal after?
Yeah, and a meal after. Yeah.
Good. You're fueling yourself. Love that. And there's another question here. What advice would you give to a woman who doesn't have a daughter like Michelle to motivate them? Where should they start? And how do they find support on a daily basis to keep going?
If they were on Instagram, you can get all the support you want. I tell you, there's so many people. And I know, I'll tell you with my app.
What's the app called?
The community. Train with Joan.
Oh, it's a Train with Joan. I didn't know about this one. Oh my gosh. I have to put this in as well.
The community that we have, like the people that are on the app, they have access to any questions that you ask. and they'll chip in and help, you know, like, cause they've been through it, you know, they're just, it's just a minefield of advice. And I always read the advice because it's right on. I haven't had anyone yet say anything that I had to step in and correct them on it. I'm going, these girls are really learning. They are passing it on. They're helping each other. So if that's a kind of community that you need, and if you can't afford an app, because it's for the year, I think it's, I'm just guessing right now, 110 for the year, which is really good when I had to pay over $300 just for a month.
Wow.
When I had a trainer. So it's cheap compared to getting a personal trainer. If you are lucky to get a good one. And there's a lot out there that are trainers, and they are doing the best that they can, but the qualifications aren't quite as rigid as they should be when you're passing on information that can do good or harm. Yeah. Anywho.
And they're not probably geared towards women, maybe not menopausal women, maybe not older women.
Yeah, no,
right?
no, that
a whole other
takes
ballgame.
A trainer. There's a difference between a trainer and a coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches have to pass rigid tests. So a trainer has to pass a certain amount, but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the same.
Well, there's so we have the app, and that's actually a great thing. I think a good place to start. But there's somebody here mentioned that she's going to meet with you at the women's retreat in April. What is this retreat? Tell us about that.
Oh, Michelle holds a retreat every year pretty well, except for when COVID we had to cancel because people were just afraid to come.
It's in Mexico.
But this is a pretty big retreat, and
where?
It's in Tulum, and we're letting somebody else look after all the finances and stuff. So we're going to be there for the information, like, and the food, make sure that the food is the way it's supposed to be and all the rest. And it's at Amansala in Tulum on the beach. And it's is it 7 or 8 days, Susan?
Wait, you gotta unmute.
Yeah, sorry, I had to unmute. I think it's like 8 days. It's a long retreat, but isn't it just for Wonder Women though? It's
not open to the public. It's just for all the people that are in
the program
with all our coaches doing it, to give them an idea of what a retreat is and to get to know all the other people, because everyone's doing everything virtually, like on the computer. So you can meet people, but now you're going to get to meet real people, not just on the computer, and working together. Yeah.
Okay. So this is Michelle's program to teach trainers how to train. And she's putting together a retreat so that all those who have been learning from her over, I'm not sure how long that's been going, they finally get to meet in person at the April retreat and then kind of practice what they've been learning.
No, they don't practice. It's just, it's more for like, finally, especially since the pandemic, for all the women that have been part of the transformation during the pandemic, and these coaches that we've only met virtually, to finally meet in person. Each other. And it's like David Harry
and each
Stewart.
Other.
Yeah. You know how you said you were on his podcast? He talks about having a cohort people that are in your tribe. And that's what is part of this brilliance of this program, is this camaraderie. This is really what, when you say, how do people stay in the game? It's this collective group of women that they've started that are part of this revolution.
Yeah. They're in.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But as well, you were asking about how do you start if you don't have someone like Michelle? Well, if you belong to a gym or if you belong to any kind of group, talk. But what I tell people, if you want to start, you got to move. Don't stop moving because you're older. Keep walking, swimming, dancing, whatever movement you like doing, do it and do more of it. Just keep doing more and more until you really feel energized. Eventually, you can do the home program, which is, like, well, follow us. If you don't have an iPhone, follow us on YouTube, the YouTube channel, or on if you're on Instagram, you can follow me. I mean, that's how you converse with me, is through Instagram. So I've got all these highlights. All you have to do is look at the highlights. That's those little circles in your bio page. And look at them. They go back, as far as I know, they go right back to the beginning of when I started. And you can see me doing exercises. Mm-hmm. You can just, and then emulate what I'm doing. That's what train with Joan means. It's not train by Joan, it's train with me. So you're just following what I'm doing, and
you'll get results.
I wish you all the luck, because it's just your determination to keep moving.
Yeah. And
change your diet.
You share some transformations, right? That people send to you, their befores and afters. And
oh my God, it's so beautiful.
People have done it, and you can do it. And so, the good place to start is with Joan, right here, right on Instagram, on Facebook. You have social media. There's a way, like you said, if there's a will, there's a way. If you really want it, you're going to find it.
You could even Google my name and you'll find me. I found that out last year. It's just it's not bragging. It's just like, they got me everywhere. I can't, my life is an open book, pretty much. I can't hide anything.
Yeah. Exactly. You are an open book. You are a public figure now, and we're all watching you and inspired by you. So don't ever give up, right? Now you really have the pressure to keep it going.
Yeah. Keep it going. I know.
I have Magdalena here, who has a question or a comment. Magdalena, do you want to unmute so we can see your beautiful face? Unmute.
Oh, can't hear you, hon.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
Joan.
Hi.
I'm your greatest fan, because I compare you to my mom. She's 79. She's in a great shape, also a very healthy woman, looks great, everything. She's, let me say, being her own coach, because she is practicing some exercises at home every day, at least half an hour. She will never go to bed, unless she is exercising first. So this is a very good point. But what I've learned today from you is that you have learned, you were studying also how to be, let me say, digital capable. This is something what my mom is not, She's not using computer, okay, phone, yes, but only this
because she has to.
She needs, yeah. But otherwise, she thinks she's too old, and I cannot convince her that you are never too old. So now I will show her your Instagram profile and I will tell her everything what you explained today, because you are a real star. We all admire you. And like Zora said before, I would like to be like you when I will be your age, definitely.
My dear, you're going to look fabulous when you're older. You've got the bone structure.
We have a lot of, how to say, a lot of role models now here. And we are happy that Zora actually was the one who started gathering us in this biohacking 50+ group women. And I'm really grateful that she's doing this and also all these podcasts, and we learned so much. And we are now even more motivated, you know, to go your direction, because we are not afraid getting old, because we just already started, I think. There's a whole life out there for another 50 years, I'm sure, because I'm convinced that I will get there to be 100 for sure. It's my,
good for you,
my
girl.
mind, you know, and let's do it. So thank you so much for this really very inspiring interview. So I will leave you now because I am going to visit my partner, my boyfriend. I'm a little bit late. We're not living together, and I was really enjoying every minute. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for being here as long as you have been, my dear.
Okay, I'm saying bye-bye to
have
everybody.
a great day. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Joan, yeah, you're more important than the boyfriend.
Obviously, holy jumping.
Any last minute questions before we let Joan go? Because we have taken a lot of her time already. Please feel free to unmute, ask your questions, Nadia.
I have millions of questions, but I won't start now. I just wanted to reiterate what Magdalena was saying. Joan, you're incredible. You're such a great role model. It's such a privilege to hear you speaking to us and to see you in person. Zora, thank you so much for bringing us together. And Susan, you are hilarious.
Oh my God, that's my whole...
I mean, you made me cry. You made me cry and you made me laugh. And Susan, made me cry. It's really great.
That's how I won Joan over, is with my humor. I really did. I won her over. But thank you, Zora, for doing this. There must have been a reason I logged on today, because that's meant to be. She, as you can tell, is the real deal. She's just an extraordinary human, and I'm happy to serve on the front lines with her. That's for sure.
Oh, you're a star. I just love these stories. I'm going to find you, Susan, because I am just as convinced and inspired. And I really, really appreciate it. It was meant to be. Really, we wouldn't be here without you. So thank goodness you were here. I'm very curious to know more about what you do, and I'm going to find you, and maybe one day
you'll be amazed, Zora.
Really?
A disciple of her. And when it comes to, when you see this program work, it isn't just Joan. I did it in 9 months and it's mind-blowing. I put my Instagram handle in your chat.
Where?
Yeah, it's Kiki Mouse Gets Fit. It's my grandma name. Oh. Kiki Mouse Gets Fit.
You didn't put it in the chat. I don't see
I sent it to you directly in a message. I'll put it in the group chat right now.
Put it again. Yeah, put it again, because I don't see it.
Unless you really see this program works.
Wow. Now I have to send it again because I don't see it. I can't find it. I'm scrolling through, don't see it. Something either wrong with my eyeballs or my brain. I don't see it either.
I sent it. Oh, I think I sent it. Come on.
Or you could just say it again, but slowly.
It's Kiki Mouse. Kiki Mouse.
K-I-K-I Mouse, M-O-U-S-E.
Oh.
Gets Fit.
Kiki Mouse. Gets Fit. Oh, okay.
It's my grandma name.
Got it.
Oh, good. Yes, that's her.
All right.
Doesn't she look beautiful?
Yes.
You're next.
love this so much, Joan. I love you. I too am gonna leave. I'm your biggest fan, as anybody can tell. So,
Yeah.
Zora, terrific podcast. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
glad
much.
that you went on. I took up way too much of your time, but anyway, thank you so much. The girls were wonderful. I do ramble on.
No, we love this. I need last minute words before we let you go.
Okay.
Any message you want to share with us?
Okay.
Anything left? Anything else we missed, Joan, that you wanted to share?
If we did, we'll get it another time.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I want to let everybody know where to find you. You have a website. You've got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Train with Joan. It's just Google it. You'll find it. It's so easy. But I will have all of the links in the show notes for you. I'm very curious about this app, women's best products. Like all this stuff is so cool. And I will share all of this. And I hope to have you on again for more inspiration. So please say yes.